Imagine for a moment everything you knew was gone, ripped away like a band-aid. Fast, not slow. It's over before you know it. But it but it hurts just the same. Now imagine that pain burrowing inside of you, eating up your insides, making room for itself at the cost of your sanity. It starts off slow, barely noticeable, and you think everything's going to be alright. But then you slowly spiral down that slope of insanity and fear. You're racked with guilt over what happened and everything you lost. That you do anything, anything to get it back. This is the story of how one man fell off that path of heroism, after losing so much, diving into fear and grief, before becoming the host of the very thing he fought for so long. That man's name is Hal Jordan, Green Lantern of Space Sector 2814. He's standing in the crater of Coast City, his city. The city he's vowed to protect ever since that spaceman crashed down on Earth, inviting him to the Green Lantern Corps and gave him that ring. However, he failed. That this ring he wears, it couldn't be more useless to him now. It couldn't save his hometown, so what good can it do? It can't raise the dead. But maybe not to that degree. The mind of Jordan is jumbled and confused, the guilt eating him alive, like some worm digging through his heart. He needs closure from the people he loves. However, they're all dead, killed by that mad alien and cyborg that destroyed the city, his city. But he doesn't have to go that far. The ring can make anything he imagines come to life. All he needs is enough willpower. Yeah, that will work. He's Hal Jordan, the greatest Green Lantern in the galaxy. He has the willpower to do so, and he has the imagination to make it real. Before the man's eyes, Coast City is rebuilt. The ground is filled up, the buildings are rebuilt, and the residents are brought back to life. But like any construct made by a ring, it's only an illusion, a fabrication of light made solid. It's not real. Everything Jordan sees is green, and only exists within his broken mind. But still, it's comfort. Everything is back to normal. Sure, it's not green, but everyone's alive, and that's all that matters. However, at a crucial moment of comfort and closure, Hal Jordan so desperately needs, it's all ripped away. Faded into nothing like a fog on a hot afternoon day. No, the ring's out of power. Its time has expired. No, no, no! It's not fair! Exclaims Hal Jordan. He brought everything back. It was perfect. It's not fair! He needs more power to keep the illusion alive, but he is confronted by a projection of, of one of the guardians of the universe. You have violated our most sacred canon. You used your ring for personal gain, says the guardian, unable to understand what Hal is going through. Blinded by rage, hate, and grief, Hal absorbs the will projection, giving him just enough power to get to Oa, the headquarters of the Green Lantern Corps. He wants power to undo the mistakes of the past, and the central power battery on Oa is more than enough to do so. Oh, I'll come back to Oa all right, but you're not going to like me when I get there. Hal Jordan then flies off in space at light speed to reclaim what he had lost. Meanwhile, on the shores of a beach, a man and woman are commenting on a green falling star leaving the planet. Knowing the danger that approaches Oa, the Guardians send wave after wave of Green Lanterns at Hal in an attempt to stop him. Ki Han, Laria, Tomar Tu, Jack T. Chance, Creon, Hanu, Garf Torin, Boudica, and Kilowog, members of the corps that Hal has either fought alongside with or recruited at one point or another, except Jack T. Chance. And one by one they fall, pleading their loyalty to the Guardians as they try to stop Hal on his mad quest for power. But in trying to stop him, they only give him what he wants. Jordan takes the rings, leaving their broken bodies and wills floating in the cold of space. Though he claims he gave them just enough power to make it back to their home planet, pretty soon that wouldn't matter. Now, now branding 10 rings, Hal has more power than he ever had before. But it won't be enough. He wants more. Enough power to bring back Coast City and everyone he lost. But in his mental state, this power he has isn't enough. Because enough is never enough. Hal arrives at Oa, ready to confront the Guardians and take what he thinks is his. The Guardians are out of options. Reinforcements are far too out to get here in time, and thus are left with only one option. They reach into the central power battery, freeing the person trapped within, a person Hal thought was gone forever. What's the matter, Hal Jordan? Nothing to say to your old friend, Sinestro? Despite this final obstacle, Hal is undeterred. Get out of my way, Sinestro, or I'll kill you. The two of them have a no-holds-barred beatdown, both sides giving it their all, and neither one seemingly gets the upper hand. It then comes down to a fist fight, which Jordan finally kills his arch-rival. Now, it could be because he dropped 9 rings to fight Sinestro fairly. It might have been the repeated blows to the head. Or it may have been after seeing Sinestro's dead corpse that clears up Hal's judgment somewhat. He is coming to his senses and finally sees what he has done. Attacking several members of the corps, stealing their rings, letting them die in the vacuum of space, killing his once mentor-turned-enemy, and then killing Kilowog, all in a fit to gain more power out of a sense of guilt over what he's lost. The worm has buried itself deep within Hal's chest. He knows what he's done, and there's no turning back. Too late for me. Too late for you. There's no turning back. Now, what's going to happen is going to happen. It has to. You can't stop it, and neither can I. Hal flies into the battery, leaving only precious moments for the Guardians to come up with a plan. They give all their power to Ganthet as the power battery explodes, killing all of them. Now, what emerges from the battery isn't Hal Jordan, nor is it a Green Lantern, or even a hero for that matter. It's simply a being called Parallax. It flies off to menace the universe, to try to create that perfect world Hal so wanted to achieve. However, the last surviving member of the Guardians, Ganthet, rises up from the corpses of his fallen brothers and sisters, lamenting how they were the instruments of their own destruction, by not comforting Hal when he needed it the most. Our greatest champion, yet we did not stand by him in his need. Our unwavering adherence to our etiquettes prevented the slightest compassion. We were the architects of our own destruction, my brothers. The Green Lantern Corps is dead, and it was all their fault. However, all is not lost. Ganthet has the power to make one last power ring, one last piece of hope that the Green Lantern Corps is not forgotten. He flies to Earth and finds the first person he deems a worthy successor for the entire Green Lantern Corps. And that man's name is Kyle Rayner. Aye. Well, this was a real, I don't want to say train wreck, but it's more like you were waiting at the station and the train just zoomed by past you. Yeah. Anyway, Emerald Twilight is got to be the most influential Green Lantern story of all time, because it just did so much in such a short amount of time that it was really a lot to take in. Like Hal going crazy over the loss of his hometown, him him practically destroying the entire Green Lantern Corps, and then issue 50 ends with with Kyle Rayner, completely separated from the core, and he has no idea what the heck's going on. Yeah, like I know the story behind this. Well, story that the creative team cooked it up uh, dur- during the weekend, and it really feels like that. Like issue two is the most shows that a lot. Yet, and it definitely feels rushed. There are a bunch of splash pages and two-page spreads throughout the story. Most of them are cool, I will admit. Like I love that the picture of Sinestro at the end of issue two. Yeah, and his fight with Hell was good. Yeah. Again, there are great moments in the story, like Hal getting 10 rings and him slowly going crazy. It's just that it it's so condensed that it gets rushed through. Like yeah, like like you could have expanded how Hal slowly loses it a bit more. You know, yeah, that itself could have been could have been a few issues in and of itself, like how slowly facing his demons and his negative psyche attacks him, turns on him like that. And yes, I know about Parallax, the the space the space fear bug, but I'll talk about him in a bit. But yeah, Hal getting 10 rings, that's cool, and yeah, that's really cool. I don't think I've ever read a story about a Green Lantern having more than one ring, and this is a perfect accept the story. Sorry, and it shows that just how much power power one of these things can have. Again, it would have been nice if they expanded on these ideas here, but I also know that it was because they were rushed that they had these ideas to begin with. So yeah, hang on, getting some water. And the whole thing about the retcon about Parallax manipulating Hal to basically go insane. Now 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 the emotional entities of the DC universe are some of my favorite concepts. Like 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 beings that embody pure emotion. That's just wonderful and can and it's just filled with potential. But here because the like it's told long after the story ends that Parallax is whispering that those is manipulating Hal to basically go nuts. That the, the that's that it really does uh, detracts from the story. Is that the right word? I don't know. But it would have been nice if Parallax was sort of like the the devil on Hal's shoulder, whispering these horrible thoughts into his ear. Like and because of that we slowly see his spiral into villainy. Because I know after the story that Hal will be a villain for a good long while. Like he die like he tries to reboot the universe a couple times. He would slowly see the error of his ways and redeem himself by sacrificing himself to save the sun. I think that story was Final Night. I don't know for certain. Don't quote me on it. And then he would become the Spectre for a while. Uh, and I know he he saved a Wally West. Yeah, gave Wally West his secret identity back. If that makes sense. And wait, then then he would give his proper return in Green Lantern Rebirth, not the DC Universe Rebirth thing, another Rebirth that happened long before that. And yeah, that's basically and yeah, that's when Hal became a superhero again, and we actually see the fallout of that a little episode he had. I don't know. I don't know how Hal feels about that in the Sinestro Corps War, which I may or may not get to. It's been a while. I'm not entirely sure. Sure, and yeah, and that was really nice. Nice, and yeah, and overall, this event has just been this this whole thing is probably a dark area for if Hal Jordan is concerned in his life. Like, yeah, I don't blame him for going off the rails, and, and because wouldn't you two you you do the exact same thing if your hometown was completely destroyed? Yeah, yeah. There was one thing I did hear about that in another book at the time. I think it was excuse me. Uh, when Hal teamed up with Green Arrow, that that showed that he was coping with it, coping with the loss of Coast City, which I'm sorry, I just don't buy. Like, this is the hometown you grew up in, where all your family and friends lived, and where you have the most memories. No one, no one. I repeat, no one is going to be the same after that. Especially, uh, uh, yeah, yeah. I don't care how much willpower you have. You're not going to come out uh, come out at, uh, come out after that the same person. I'm sorry. That's just I just don't buy that. Yeah, yeah. So yeah. Oh, again, overall, I don't think Emerald Twilight is a bad story, but it's not particularly good. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I just gonna keep. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly like that. Anyway, I do, however, find it like as quintessential reading material for any Green Lantern fan because it just changed so much, and was so influential for the stories to come after it was published. Yeah, yeah, it would have been great if they developed these ideas and show that slow spiral into madness for Hal. But I understand why why they didn't do that. They couldn't. They didn't have enough time. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for this video. Although one question, from what I gathered, that the Green Lantern John Stewart was active around this time Hal went nuts. What happened to him? Like, as far as I know, he was active. Like, I could be wrong, but still, so some clarity would be nice. And yeah, those are my thoughts on Emerald Twilight. See you next time. Ciao.